So how's it going, guys? So today's video is going to be about how to read more books this year. Personally, this video isn't going to be like the first one. I'm not going to show you the process involved in it. I'm going to show you what I did because I already started with this goal, and like I'm halfway through how much books I want to read. Does that make sense? There are some things that I agree with in this article and some that I don't, and I'm going to share with you these things and give you my opinion on what I think will really help you. Also, yeah, I don't really have time either, I go to college, pre-med student, so not much time, but I still try to make time as much as possible to read. So let's just go straight into this. Um, First of all, not making towering reading goals, that's really true. Like, don't say you're gonna do anything unless you're sure you can do it. So, first, you could even start small if that's your style. Like, start small, read 5 pages, just 5 pages. Like, it really depends if you're in the week and you have work, or you have school or college or whatever. Just read in the afternoon, like 5 pages. I don't like reading a lot right before bedtime, but you could do that if that helps you. In the afternoon, just read like 5 to 10 pages and so on. As for in my case, like for a person like me, you should really like suit to what you need, like as a person. What is your style? Like if I try to read 20 pages a day, that's not going to really work for me, Let's not just kid ourselves here. 20 pages a day, I'm not gonna do that. What I do instead is read as much as possible in one day, don't read the next day if I'm busy. If I really have time, just read another 50 pages, then read 60 pages and so on. That's what like helps me the most. Yeah, okay. So this thing, um, you could really use this to your advantage. Just keep your goals to yourself. Like, not really anyone wants to know that you're going to read more books. Just don't go saying everywhere that I'm going to be reading books, I'm going to be doing this. Just don't say it. Maybe if you keep to yourself, I think that gives you like more power to power through the book and enjoy it more and actually fulfill what you want to do. Okay, so this is one point that I really don't agree with. Like, don't put down your book. I'm just going to give a real quick example here. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Like, this is one of the first books I started to read, and I'm going to be honest with you, there were a lot of times I really didn't enjoy. Okay, so the first day, according to my like personality, if you want, I read 100 pages of this book. And this book is philosophy and it's non-fiction. So it was most of the times boring, I'm just gonna admit. Although I really like the book, it's amazing. You should read it if you have time, but for beginners, I don't think it's something that's going to help you. And this is when I read this, first of all, I just thought to myself, like I was almost halfway through and I said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna stop this book, maybe choose another book. And I didn't do that. I just continued, powered through it, and what I did was power through the book, noticed that it was quite a good book, and I actually learned much more than maybe watching TV for the whole year, 2018. So, yeah. So just don't quit the book. Just don't put it down. That's a bad advice there. Okay, this one, um, somewhat true. Yeah, I actually could say that you should read something you actually enjoy, but at the same time you should also experiment. Maybe there are lots of things that you don't think you like this philosophy. Philosophy book, Meditations. I just started it. I didn't know what to expect of it, and I actually turned out to like philosophy books. Okay, something, always have a book on hand. Yeah, that's a good idea. I keep my books on my laptop. I take it everywhere, so but I like to read it on the computer. It just helps me. I don't want to get distracted easily, but if you do, I recommend just buying the book, like as a paper version. Borrow reading time from less important. Okay, so this is what I really started to do. I had a winter break, and at the winter break, I just decided to read more books, and that's what I did. So I spent days reading books, which was something a really good experience, and you should try it. Please just try it. Yeah, what I did was, instead of wasting, let's say, my morning on going through social media, using my phone, watching TV, watching YouTube. What I did was limit that to like half the time, and on the other half, I'll just read the book. First, read the book, as they say here. That's a good idea. Just first read the book, then do whatever you want, not the other way. Reading challenges, just don't do it. I don't really like that. That takes the fun out of reading, and that's not what you should do. Create a distraction-free reading environment. That's really true. Sometimes I could just read on my bed with my laptop, but what I prefer doing is some coffee, sit down on my desk and read it. Just put your mind to it. Don't say to yourself that, oh, I'm just gonna get distracted. That's not what's gonna happen. Avoid that. You could do that. Like,
stop it. Get
just
some
don't
help.
think about it. Stock up, yeah, that's, instead of wasting $200 you could use on clothes. Just, okay, not maybe that much, but just start with a single book, finish it, move to the next one. Just don't spend like a lot. Although this will help you, like when you spend money on something, you just have to use it. That's just kind of how people work. Using technology to your advantage, yes, that's what I do. Use a laptop. Okay, so this is something I'd like to stop a bit on. Here what they say is, don't think of reading as something you, as an activity you do. Just think of it like you're just enjoying reading. Just it's just a normal part of your life. Um, and it is somewhat like that, but I don't really find reading books that normal. Maybe it's just me. I'm not used to reading a book. Maybe after a while it will be this way, but like I really don't have a problem thinking it is an activity I should do. And also, let me rephrase that. It's not something I should do, it's something I want to do. Because after you finish your first book, you get that real satisfaction that you actually achieved reading a single book. Although it seems like small, but still, it's kind of cool. Skim, just don't do it. Like, don't do it. That scares the people that reads the book, especially if you're a beginner. Read multiple books, don't do that. Don't. Just starters don't. Keep your eyes open, except if you're at night, which I don't like. That's why I don't read at night. You should have no problem with this. Commit to reading when traveling or before bed. It's a good thing to have a routine, like something that you're used to in the beginning, like a habit. Okay, so yeah, this is something that helps. Don't just like make thousands of lists of books. You're going to say to yourself like, ah, you know what? This is my first book. It has to be so important. That's what I did. Like, so I researched like, what am I gonna read? I checked the ratings of this and that and that. Just take a book that's kind of popular, kind of known, has good ratings, just start with it. Just don't think about it a lot. It's just a book, and you're going to be fine with it. Don't worry. So settle down. Just don't be stressed about it. You're just reading for fun. That's the most important thing. You, it's an activity, right? But you have to also enjoy it, learn something from it. Also, that's what I find problematic, like in high school. Just give you deadlines for books, and you have to like finish them. That's really not gonna help the student. And it just feels like you have to read the book. Maybe the books that they assigned to us in high school is like really good, and maybe I should read them now. That would be actually quite fun, like reading my high school books. So yeah, sharing what you read, I just don't do that. I don't know. I don't know what you gain from that. I don't like sharing a lot. Have your next book on standby. Finish the first book and you will want to read the next book. Trust me. If you finish a 300-page book, you are going to say that, oh wow, I just finished it. Read the next one. Set a dedicated reading time. Don't. Just don't. Do it naturally. If you could do it as a routine, just do it as a routine, but you could also be flexible with it. Don't forget. Buy books that are on sale. Yeah, if you're low on budget, price, whatever, just buy books. Join a book club. I don't know, I didn't do that. I'm not thinking of joining any club. Although there are online book clubs. I'll think, actually, maybe I'll do a future video, share my experience with book clubs. Hijack your Facebook habits. I don't have Facebook, so. Read in sprints. This technique I'll use when I like really feel stressed out. I really don't want to do it. What I do is just go on a site or just a timer on anything on your phone. Just put 20 minutes, finish reading in 20 minutes. Sometimes what I mostly do is after these 20 minutes are over, I'll just find out myself that, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna continue reading. Read aloud or mouth long. Yeah, that's a good tip. That really helped me. I don't know if it helps you. Taking notes, it's just gonna feel like another homework. I just don't do it. Also, the thing I recommend, other than this expert tips, if you want, I don't know how expert they are, but other than these expert tips, what I recommend is don't start with fiction, don't start with non-fiction, start with fiction. Yeah, start with fiction. Start with something that has a story. That would be much easier to read. And I don't know, I just found that non-fiction could be something sometimes boring, although you could really benefit from them, but just not for a beginner. Just start with a fiction book. Also, it's not true that non-fiction you learn something and fiction is just a story. That's really wrong. You could learn more from a fiction book than a non-fiction. So what I did was read a fiction book, then a non-fiction book, then a fiction book, and then a non-fiction book, and then you can just go continue from there. And try to do this. And after all, it's just a matter of choice. That's what you have to understand. It's just a matter of choice. If you put your mind to it, you can really do it. So just do it. Okay, so just as a parting note, yeah, I just chose this book's picture. Just as a parting note, if you like the video, I really appreciate if you give a comment. Just say what you like, what you didn't, what I could improve. I think this video is much better than the last one, to be honest. I put much more work into it, and this is the type of work I'm aiming for from now on. So if you want to see more, just subscribe. If you don't subscribe. That's easy. Basic logic. So yeah.